Prime Minister James Marape says the government is not avoiding vote of no confidence and welcome what's coming.
This September, the Marape government must be changed to have a new Prime Minister put in place to effect the hard reset and save Papua New Guinea.
However, the Prime Minister highlighted the importance of the upcoming Parliament proceedings, noting that members of Parliament will assess the leadership abilities of potential alternate Prime Minister when the time comes.
If the opposition wants to move a vote of no confidence, the process is there. Deploy the process as Section 145 entails. Follow the standing orders. The last 5 times, we never failed them. The Private Business Committee never failed. It was themselves who failed themselves. So we'd like to encourage them. If they feel that they want to move a motion of no confidence, September 3, we're going back to Parliament.
Prime Minister Marape is urging the opposition to ensure that the VoNC form is correctly completed by September 3, citing the significance of upcoming national events such as the Pope's visit on September 6 and the independence celebrations on September 16.
Pope will come on 6th of September. We need to give respect to the leader of the Catholic Church who's coming on 6th of September. We will have 1 day in Parliament to give respect to our late member for Central Bougainville who's fallen, and we intend to give him respect on the 3rd of September. And so Parliament will sit for 3 weeks, 2 weeks rather. And I want to ask our colleagues in opposition, don't make a lot of noise in the public space. If you want to deploy the VoNC process, the law allows for you to do it. Prime Minister is not James Marape's birthright. It's a place in Parliament. There's a place in Parliament where leaders of equal standing have a fair contest, and the process is set out. They are most welcome to deploy the process, but our team in government, we know we've taken responsibility in tough years, and we are trying our very best in these tough years going forward, and we are solid as ever.
Parliament sits for 2 weeks, and the Prime Minister has urged the opposition to fill in the vote of no confidence form properly this time. The PBC sits on Wednesdays, so the form has to be filled properly before 4:06 on Tuesday, September the 3rd. On Thursday, it goes on notice and Parliament comes back the following Thursday and deals with it.
My office did receive a letter from our students from UPNG they wanted to hand in a petition on Tuesday. I want to indicate to our students, we value their views in society. Their views are not out of place. They have a place in our society to express what they feel needs to be expressed. And they are our emerging leaders of our country. They're leaders today as in their generation. I was once upon a time a student leader at the university, and so we understand exactly where they're coming from. The Education Minister will go and receive the petition on Tuesday, and I will go to the campus on Friday to have an address to the student body in respect to make a reply on the petitions that they will hand in to the Education Minister. And I also appreciate my colleagues.
Prime Minister called on the people to pay attention on the work already happening and not allow themselves to be influenced by his political opponents.
Work is happening right across the country. If you look at, for instance, independent report by NASFAN last year. NASFAN last year said that they had 34,000 new members last year. That depicts that 34,000 new employees were employed last year by private sector employments right across the country. Our own government statistics have shown that we have put more people into employment in the last 2-3 years, and it is picking up.
He said in the 6 focus areas of his government, work has truly begun, and Papua New Guineans must be aware of them and value the importance of government stability to see these programs to their full completion.
Minister Duma again and his sector have connected Edawu with a 112 million kina infrastructure investment on the 132 kV line that comes into Port Moresby, uplifting 54 megawatts of new power. All this work, talk about power, I may also include Hagen to Yonki, 132 kV line is being worked upon. Yonki to Ley, 132 kV line is almost completed. From Hagen to Tari Heights, 132 kV line complete already to upload power from Heights into the grid, as well as power from Ramusa.
On his way to Tonga, Prime Minister Marape will make a brief stopover in Niue to fulfill a government commitment.
And I am flying there en route, Niue. There was a 2014 commitment of PNG government to the territory of Niue that has not been retired up till today. And I'm doing a stopover as a bilateral visit to Niue before I pick up the Premier of Niue, and we will fly in tomorrow into Nuku'alofa. PIF will be for 1 week, but I will be back on Thursday.
Prime Minister Marape will also meet with the Secretary General of United Nations at the Pacific Islands Forum in Tonga this week.
The Secretary General of United Nations, Secretary General has made a specific request for Papua New Guinea to have a meeting with the Secretary General. Conversation in that bilateral meeting would be on the progress of Bougainville Peace Agreement and what is happening in Bougainville, as well as Papua New Guinea's view on forestry and the value for forestry that should be earned by Papua New Guinea.
Before departure today, Prime Minister also welcomed the opposition planned no-confidence vote against his government, urging them to properly fill out the vote of no-confidence form before submitting it to the Parliamentary Private Business Committee. He urged the opposition to ensure that the form is correctly completed by September 3rd, citing the significance of upcoming national events such as the Pope's visit on September 6th and the independence celebrations on the September 16th. Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister John Grosso is now the acting Prime Minister while Marape is away.
The consultation program aims at educating the parties who are landowners, impacted communities and stakeholders of the Wafi Golpu project on the various benefit streams that will be available to them and how the community development agreement process will go. The benefit streams include royalties, equity, business development grants, infrastructure development grants, and tax credit schemes, among others. The state team explained the various laws, policies, and processes governing the distribution of benefits and who the beneficiaries and parties to the CDA are going to be. The highlights of the team's presentations were the explanation of what CDA is and its processes, equity breakups, and business spin-off opportunities that will be available to landowners and stakeholders. President of Hengambu Landowners Association, John Nema, thanked the state team for sharing vital information on benefits. Hengambu is one of the 3 special mining lease 10 landowner groups that will benefit from Wafi Golpu project. The other 2 are Yanta and Bafuaf. The state team will share more information, and this was the first of more meetings to come. Susan Oreape, TV1 News.
Ungodly altars and rebuilding godly altars, the Students' National Repentance Weekend program aims to foster reflection and spiritual renewal among participants. The camp concludes on Monday, August 26, coinciding with the National Repentance Day. The gathering commenced with a performance of the national anthem by Elma Lako from Hoskins Secondary. National Repentance Day, now observed for the 13th year, is dedicated to Christian prayer and self-reflection. It marks the anniversary of the covenant made by the late Grand Chief Sir Michael Thomas Somare in 2011, declaring August 26 as a national holy day for prayer and repentance in Papua New Guinea. West New Britain Provincial Administrator Leo Mapmani addressed students attending the Tertiary Students Christian Fellowship Weekend Camp, emphasizing the importance of holistic development. Mapmani highlighted that true growth involves mental, physical, and spiritual capacities. He acknowledged the challenges of guiding youths and encouraged them to engage in spiritual activities, suggesting that participation helps in realizing their potential and avoids aimless wandering.
So to be a better person, and yet meeting him spiritually, we must be molded, guided, So you got this spiritual well-being below you. Your mindset, and from your mindset, the actions that you will do, and now by reflecting what sort of person you are. As a father, trying to accommodate or look after our youths in the age group as you plan now stop here. It is a challenge. But Papa God that's all you one you commit him you had long, inside long, walk long, Papa God, like participating in activities like this. Let me mold him you. And you will see and you will come to realize what's ahead of you than being roaming around aimlessly.
This year's main event will be held in Mount Hagen to commemorate the covenant.